Senpai Bill Gates says we're on the verge of civil war? A hung election? Oh my god! What are we gonna do? Hey my dudes, how's it hanging? It's your boy, ZNF1 here. So, a lot of this is going to, or rumored to happen due to the extreme polarization of things in America here and how people have been made to be so cutthroat with one another. In particular, polarization of politics has been ungodly fucking ridiculous. And a lot of us conspiracy theorists have been saying it wouldn't be shocking at all if one were to just, pop out. Now, Bill Gates also said that this happens to go hand in hand with misinformation. But the real question to ask here is which one's worse or more dangerous? The mainstreams, which seemingly they don't really own up to half the time when they're wrong, or professionals that actually do and continuously do and have open minds about it? I'll let you guys think and decide for yourself. Bill Gates is worried about domestic polarization in the US. Bill Gates didn't ever truly seem worried about the pandemic, and how could he with all that fucking money he made, right? Now, remember how we did that video on Bill Gates and how he just gives loads of money to mainstream journalists, funds their education, helps them with graduate school and all that stuff? Well, what propaganda did a lot of those mainstream news networks and journalists feed us?
Second wave of COVID-19 is threatening to overwhelm the country's health systems.
The worst COVID subvariant so far is here.
The new variant of coronavirus could be more deadly than the original strain.
The Pfizer trial has shown that their vaccine, the 3-dose regimen, it was incredibly effective, up to 80% effective.
What happens when people that are paranoid and tune into mainstream news / services, especially in the mornings when they're really susceptible to being programmed a certain way? You guessed it, they go, way up, baby!
Yeah, baby!
Bill Gates also gained a lot of money from COVID vaccines too over the past 3 years, didn't he? Hard to be worried when you're making buttloads of money from the pandemonium, right? But Gates is still worried about domestic polarization in the US, which he sees little hope for in the short term. I admit that political polarization may bring it all to an end. We're going to have a hung election and a civil war, he said. The polarization and lack of trust is a problem, he said. I definitely agree with him on that. It's a huge fucking problem. It's ridiculous. The lack of trust in our government's shitty, and it's because we have shitty fucking people in these places of power, in these corporations and public services. COVID-related conspiracy theories appear to be dying down within the receding pandemic. I have a group that tracks what's on the web that's talking about the things that connect to me, he said. Overwhelmingly, during the pandemic, 95% was all the conspiracy theory stuff. It is calming down now. Hold on, 95% of his tracking, which messed up for one, and what the people were saying about him were these conspiracy theories? That's a pretty significant statistic or percentage, isn't it? That's a little too ironic, don't you think? Wait a second, he just said that we're going to have a hung election and a civil war because of this polarization, just like we did. Shut up, you crazy conspiracy theorist. It's right because our savior Bill Gates said it. Political polarization, he says, goes hand in hand with another issue, the spread of misinformation. There it is. Those crazy conspiracy theorists like Joe Rogan, Russell Brand, and Professor Jeffrey Sachs and their misinformation. It's not like they actually put any money or research into anything. No. Psst. Our last video was actually on just that and how Professor Jeffrey Sachs actually contributed a significant amount of money into research on the origins of COVID for over the past 2+ years. And it's still mislabeled as misinformation just because it comes from somebody who has an open-minded perspective on all of it. Again, whose misinformation is worse? Isn't all this censorship of this shit just annoying? And won't the truth itself just kind of clear everything up naturally without the need to, I don't know, police it? While other billionaires' media empires are relatively well known, the extent to which Gates' cash underwrites the modern media landscape is not. After sorting through over 30,000 individual grants, Mint Press can reveal that Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, BMGF, has made over $300 million worth of donations to fund media projects. This is all to big American news outlets like CNN, NBC, NPR, PBS, Elmo. We did a whole segment on how they use Elmo's TV show for soft propaganda, and other networks like The Atlantic. These are big networks, businesses. They're not charities. This foundation was meant to help people. Now, it's really hard to imagine why these news networks would be so biased towards him and his narrative on everything with COVID now, isn't it? Gates also sponsors a myriad of influential foreign organizations, including the BBC, The Guardian, the Financial Times, and the Daily Telegraph in the United Kingdom. Prominent European newspapers such as Le Monde in France, Der Spiegel in Germany, and El País in Spain, as well as big global broadcasters like Al Jazeera. This is a list of these media outlets that he funds to the dollar amount. One of them, the first one, is NPR, which gets $24,663,066. The next one would be The Guardian, including theguardian.org. They get $12,951,391. The next one is The Conversation, which gets $6,664,271. The next one is Der Spiegel, which gets $5,437,294. The next one is NBC Universal Media, which gets $4,373,500. Then there's Le Monde, which is France. They get $4,014,512. Then there's also El País, which gets $3,968,184. BBC gets $3,668,657. CNN gets $3,600,000. The Daily Telegraph gets $3,446,801. Then The Atlantic gets $1,403,453. And Al Jazeera gets $1 million. Then we finally have PBS with Elmo that gets $499,997. That's fucking crazy, isn't it? That's a lot of money to a lot of mainstream networks, and a lot of those are left, like really left-leaning ones too. Gates continues to underwrite a wide network of investigative journalism centers as well, totaling just over $38 million, more than half of which has gone to the DC-based International Center for Journalists to Expand and Develop African Media. Now, these centers include the International Center for Journalists, and they get $20,436,938. Premiums Time Center for Investigative Journalism in Nigeria, $3,800,357. And you guys might know this one. The Pulitzer Center for Crisis Reporting, they get $2,432,552. Then Foundation Euractiv Politech, they get $2,368,300. Next is International Women's Media Foundation, and they get $1,500,000. Another one is the Center for Investigative Reporting, and they get $1,446,639. Last one is the Intermedia Survey Institute, which they get $1,297,545. Now, I can go on for like 6 or 7 different more journalism centers, but I feel like you guys kind of get the point here. But they also do this. The foundation also puts up the money to directly train journalists all over the world in the form of scholarships, courses, and workshops. Today, it is possible for an individual to train as a reporter thanks to a Gates Foundation grant, find works at a Gates-funded outlet, and belong to a press association funded by Gates. This is especially true of journalists working in the fields of health, education, and global development. The ones Gates himself is most active in and where scrutiny of the billionaire's actions and motives are the most necessary. It's very true that it is necessary to be scrutinized here especially. So, the Gates Foundation grants pertaining to the instruction of journalists include Johns Hopkins University, a lot of you should know that one, they get $1,866,408. The next one that you guys probably know is the University of California, Berkeley. They get $767,800. Next one would be Tsinghua University in China, and they get $450,000. Next would be the Institute for Advanced Journalism Studies, and they get $254,500. And the last and the best one, because we saved the best for last, would be the World Health Organization, which they get $38,403. And that's not including anything else that he might be donating to them. This is specifically for the instruction of journalism. The BMGF also pays for a wide range of specific media campaigns around the world. For example, since 2014, it has donated $5.7 million to the Population Foundation of India in order to create dramas that promote sexual and reproductive health with the intent to increase family planning methods in South Asia. Now, mind you, that does seem like a pretty decent thing, but wow, if he could do that, imagine what other billionaires could do with money to influence media centers and networks to push a certain narrative or their narratives, or rather misinfo, so they can make money, like COVID, for instance. Pretty much every outlet or network that was funded by him had the exact perspective pushed that he did. It's like little mice getting water from a feeder, but that water is money. But what if, don't make me take away that funding now. Natural spillover is the only logical conclusion on COVID. Oh, that's the stuff. I love all this money, Bill Gates. Now, the question to ask here is, would Bill Gates or other billionaires be able to make profit from this said civil war, the people suffering, and the propaganda that they put out to help their side? Now, if you've watched our previous videos on Bill Gates, plus his interest in COVID vaccines, plus the mainstream media and Big Pharma, you could probably arguably say that he's already done it with COVID and all the propaganda with it, hasn't he? And that's for almost the past 3 years now, isn't it? Alrighty, so that's going to be it for us today, though, my dudes. If you guys did enjoy, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. It really does mean a lot to me when I do this, and also helps to get us further up in the YouTube algorithm. Let people know it's okay to question the system that we live in, and to think independently. If you guys did make it to the end of this video, though, please leave the word propaganda in the comment section down below to let me know that you made it to the end and that you guys are part of the 100% Club. If you guys want a more interactive experience, come check us out on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and our Discord. I have links for all that in the description down below. But we do movie/weeb night every other Friday in the Discord or the Z Tribe. But there's that. And then we also have streams Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 8:30 to 10:30 p.m. Central Time, where you talk about this stuff, make jokes, and play some Pokemon Unite, as well as Uno on Fridays with community members. But yeah, if you guys want a more interactive experience with us here, go and check it out. We'd love to have more people in there. Until next time, though, my dudes, please don't forget to live long, prosper, take care and peace, keep it 1,000,000% real, and remember, fuck the system. I'll see you guys on the flip side.